Hello guys, welcome along to Versus 4. I am the Custard Prophet. This is episode 2 of our second season in Versus 4, and if you're not sure what this save is all about, this is a save where we have basically taken 8 Football Manager content creators who apply their trade on YouTube, and we've basically pitted them all up against each other. We've played a season, and each one of these creators is all managing the same club, which is Juventus, in a parallel save. They were in 2 groups, and essentially the creators with the most points qualified for a second season. So we have 4 of these fantastic content creators have fallen by the wayside, but 4 remain, and those are myself, Avoiding Relegation, Old Lady Plays, and the Football Manager Maniac. So those are the contenders. We've had episode 1 of the second season, recap to that. Everyone started off pretty well, but this is where we find out really how people have started. So in today's episode, we are going to come back for game day 12. We'll look at how everyone has got on in those first 11 games, and then we will see the highlights for game day 12, which is what everyone's second episode was. We'll look through those highlights. We'll look at how people have got on up until then, and we'll also have a look at what you guys are thinking about everything. And finally, we'll show you how things stand. It should be a good one. I think this episode you should start to see whether people are going to do all right or not, and what the sort of patterns are, and who's kind of the early leader in this tournament. Okay, so what we'll do first of all, we'll go through to the comments, your comments on the last recap video, and we'll see what you guys thought of the transfer business and who you reckon is going to win given those transfers that have come in. Unfortunately, due to a somewhat silly error from myself, I uploaded the wrong video initially, so it's basically meant that there's a bunch of people who probably haven't seen the first episode, the recap video. But we got 3 comments to go through. We're going to start, of course, with United City FM, who unfortunately got knocked out due to dubious circumstances. He's been hedging his bets all the way through this. He's basically been supporting everyone subtly. You know, he's been in people's DMs saying, "Yeah, you're going to win. You're going to win." And we're all very confused who he really wants to win. But thank you, Kev, for your support on the series and everything you've put into the series and continue to do so. Now you're looking at it from the outside. FM Digi. It's nice of you to say, mate. It's nice of you to say that I would have had the best shot if Ronaldo hadn't been out. But he's reckoning Football Manager Maniac. He loves the Bruno Fernandes transfer. I think that is a decent. Transfer, and I'm a big fan of the transfers that Football Manager Maniac has done. I think that's going to be really, really important. But the Football Manager Maniac, he is still going with Avoiding Relegation as the winner. We'll see what happens there. Obviously, Avoiding Relegation he got the most points from season 1. He didn't really lose he didn't lose any games and was incredibly consistent. Can he continue with that consistency? We're going to find out right now. Let's go on and see how everyone's got on in the first few games. Right then, we'll start with Avoiding Relegation. As you can see, it's not gone particularly fantastically. He has dropped 6 points in this table, in this division, which is surprising. Away draws against Napoli and Sampdoria, which is a real surprise, and then a home draw against Atalanta, 0-0. Looks like he is struggling a little bit to score goals some of the time. Other parts of the time he's winning 5-0, 4-0. So he's not quite getting the team working as he wants, and I think part of the problem that he's finding is he's relying on the likes of Higuain, who is getting older and isn't quite doing the business. Ronaldo as well, getting a bit older. Can you rely on him 100%? It's hard to say. So Football Manager Maniac, on the other hand, has absolutely smashed it out of the park. 100% record, won absolutely everything. Away wins, for example, against the likes of Inter. You can see there, decent home win against Atalanta as well. Good home, absolutely smashed Roma as well. So it is going really, really well for Football Manager Mania. And yes, Bruno Fernandes is absolutely smashing it as well. It turned out to be a spectacular signing, I think. So it's looking good for Football Manager Maniac. He did what he did what he needed to get through the first stage, and now he has stepped it up, and his transfers are coming through, it looks. Myself, it's not gone quite to plan. As you can see, I've lost a game, and it was the very next game after our first game that we saw in the last recap episode. A 1-0 loss away against Sassuolo is a poor result, and basically this resulted in an entire change of formation. So I ended up using 2 Metzalas to try and bring a little bit more width to the team, and it does seem to be working quite nicely. So after that point, the only dropped points were a 2-2 home draw against Inter, but we've had a nice 2-0 away win against Lazio, which is a good result, and beat Napoli, who are the team that really are doing well this season. They were unbeaten at that point. They had a 100% record until we beat them. So that was a good victory. But we've got a lot of difficult games coming up. It's not gone quite to plan. So avoiding relegation and myself struggling a little bit. Football Manager Maniac smashing out. How his old lady plays got on, as you can see, pretty well. She's tending to win by not many goals, but look how many clean sheets she has managed to keep. Wins against Roma, 5-0 away win. Wow, that's impressive. A 2-0 win against AC Milan, and a 1-0 away win against Napoli. The Milan was at home, but some very, very good results. The only drop points, a surprise 0-0 draw against Parma, who you would expect her to do probably a bit better against. But today, she's got a home game, another tricky game against Lazio. So some real toughies that she's had in there. Can she continue her run? Right then, let's have a little look how that has affected the table. So as you can see, Football Manager Maniac is topping the table with all 11 games, wins, 33 goal difference. That's 3 goals on average a game he's scoring. It's just unbelievable. 33 points. Old lady plays just behind him, still very much within touching distance. 10 wins, 1 draw, 31 points, and not such a good goal difference, 22. Myself, the goal difference isn't great, and we are on 28 points. We've lost 1 and drawn 1. We're the only team to lose, only team to actually lose 1 out of all 4 creators so far. And avoiding relegation is bringing up the rear. Massive surprise there. With 8 wins, 3 draws, and he is just 1 point behind me on 27 points. Let's have a little look at the fixtures for game day 12. Avoiding relegation will be away against Roma. Bit of a tough one there. Football Manager Maniac is at home and he's playing Sampdoria. You would expect a win there considering how well things have been going for him. Myself, I am up against Brescia at home. Again, you'd expect us to win that, but you never know with the teams I'm putting out, really. And finally, Old Lady Plays, as I mentioned, is home against Lazio. Right then, that's the fixtures. Let's go and see the highlights of those games in game day 12. I'll see you afterwards. Yeah, right then, so a surprising lack of goals in that episode, not what we've come to expect from that quartet of content creators. Let's go through what the results were. Big surprise again, avoiding relegation, slips up. 0-0 draw away at Roma. You can kind of understand that. It's not an easy result, but we heard earlier on, Old Lady Plays beat Roma away 5-0, so that is not a good result. The other three creators did manage to get wins. Football Manager Maniac. It was a 2-1 win over Sampdoria. Actually, Football Manager Maniac dominated the game. It was surprisingly close scoreline-wise, just didn't quite have the clinical edge that he has done in previous games. Myself, it was a 3-0 win over Brescia. That is much more goals than we normally score, as you can see with our goal difference in a second. So that was a little bit of a surprise. And finally, Old Lady Plays a 1-0, a solid 1-0 win over Lazio, and that is what she's been doing all along. She's been getting the results, and she continues to put the pressure on Football Manager Maniac. Okay, so what does that do to the table? Well, we know who's top. Football Manager Maniac, 12 out of 12, 34 goal difference, 36 points. You can't beat that, can you? It's awesome stuff. Old Lady Plays just 3 points behind, so but a fair few goals behind. A 23 goal difference, 11 wins and 1 draw. I'm in third, which, as I think I said early on, I would absolutely take. 31 points, very weak goal difference, but that is what I've been doing all along. 10 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. And the creator in 4th place at the minute is avoiding relegation. Only won 8 of the 12 games, drawn the other 4 with a 20 plus 25 goal difference. Only 28 points. He is going to be disappointed with that, I would suspect. Yeah, we'll be coming back for game day 24, so that's when we'll see you next. That will be the game the highlights are on. It's just after the January transfer window, so episode 3 we should see some transfers from the various creators if people need to do that sort of thing. I can think of 1 or 2 people who might be wanting to make transfers, maybe, if we can get money, which might be the sticking point. But we will see. Right then, guys, well, that's pretty much us done for today. Let me know in the comments below, given what's happened, are you guys going with Football Manager Maniac? There were so many people on the avoiding relegation bus, but ship, yeah, we'll go with that, because then I can say, has that ship sailed? Seamless stuff. But it's, as I say, early days. There is still plenty of time for him to get back into it. Let us know what transfers are required for the various different creators. I know some people have sort of suggested that, you know, I might be in a lot of trouble not having Ronaldo. The other thing with not having Ronaldo is I've got £900,000 a week's worth of wages that is not going to anything really. So I'd have preferred it if he just retired, because I don't think he's going to come back until well into the second half of the season. So is he really going to make that much difference? I don't know. Okay, guys. Well, yeah. Let me know what you think about this this recap episode. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. Please subscribe if you are new, and hit that notification bell. Go over and check out the other 3 creators involved in season 2. Remember, they've got videos all the way through this, so make sure you check those out. And we'll be back on Sunday for episode 3, and that is game day 24, and then the recap will be out later in the week, recapping what has gone on, which should be really exciting. I think we will have a really good idea of what's going to happen at the end of that episode. Okay, guys, that's it from me. Thank you very much. Goodbye.